Welcome back to the pod. What's good? Willie B here, checking in. Glad to be here with you guys, man. Appreciate you tuning in, listening, watching, whatever. Please subscribe to the pod. You already know it. You know I gotta say it. If you're listening to it, also give it a rate. Review it on the Spotifys, on the Apples, and the YouTubes. Like that. Comment some stuff. All that stuff helps. Hell yeah, already clearing my throat. Already got bullshit in my goddamn throat. Feeling better, though. Back to normal health. But at the end of a cold, man, you're coughing up that shit, bro. You're getting that stuff out of your system. So I'm still getting it out. Boring start, but I'm going to earn your guys' trust, okay? That's what I always say when I have like a local set where I have like a weird start. I'm always like, don't worry. I'll earn your guys' trust. I got it. I had that happen last night, actually. I was like, I got it. Don't worry. Give me another minute. I have gone also jokingly when I know people who are running the show. If I have a weird start, I'll be like, hey, can you start? Don't start my time yet. Start it now. Start my 15-minute timer now. The first minute was weird. That doesn't count. Okay. Anyways, man, I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're staying healthy. And quick housekeeping things. Other than the subscribe stuff, I want to say appreciate all the nice messages about a Netflix is a joke announcement. Just want to give some clarification as to exactly what that is. So it's essentially just a normal show that I'm headlining. That I'll be doing, a normal headlining set. I'm doing an hour of jokes, and but it's a part of the festival. So it's not like I'm doing like a 10-minute set in the festival yet. This is just, my show is sponsored by the festival at the Hollywood Improv. So just want to give some clarification as to what that is. And the tickets will actually go on sale Friday. So I'll post about it on Friday, and the tickets are on sale. Again, there's only 55 seats. So if you do live in LA and you want to go to that show, I would buy those tickets like right when they come out, because I don't anticipate those will be up for very long, because it's on a Friday also. So people can oftentimes commit to going to a show on a Friday with much more ease. But little inside scoop, I'm also, I also will be, I just got word that I'm actually going to be showcasing for a really cool thing within the festival. It's this thing they do called Introducing. It's basically like the new faces of comedy. And for those comedy nerds out there, that's, just for laughs, that's the biggest comedy festival in the world. And if you are selected as a new face of comedy, that used to basically change your life. Back in the day, if you got new faces, you would be, your career would be different. You'd get, signed by people. You'd get a sitcom deal. It was a huge deal. But the longer the business has been around for, the new faces has been a little less prestigious. It's still a big deal to get it, and it's a huge honor, but it's less and less meaningful as it used to be. And I showcased for it last year. Didn't have a very good set. Was pretty upset about it. And that's how it goes, man. These showcases are weird. You're in front of a bunch of industry, and just wasn't my night. But I'm going to be doing basically Netflix is doing a similar thing where it's called Netflix Introducing. Very similar thing. They did it on the first festival, and everyone who got Introducing got like something big. Like my buddy Michael Longfellow got SNL. This other guy got passed at the Comedy Store, and just it's a huge thing. So I'm going to be showcasing for that on Monday, actually. So, not something I would talk about publicly, but that's something I want to share with you guys. I'm basically going to be doing a 5-minute set in front of the powers that be at Netflix, and if I get it, that would be fucking amazing. I don't think it'll be up on Netflix. I think what they would do is they film those sets and put them on YouTube. So, anyways, who knows if I'll get it? I'm gonna go out there and do my best, but I just wanted to, and I'll talk about it on the next episode of how it goes, especially versus the first time I've showcased for something like this. It didn't go super well, so hopefully I can rebound. I'm gonna do a different set too, which I think is good, and so, yeah, I just want to give some clarification as to what the Netflix thing is going to be. So, again, May 3rd is when that's going to be. Tickets are on sale Friday. So, that's the deal, bro. And also, I put up this that best of crowd work video on my YouTube. If you guys can share that, that'd be amazing. That's very much like a good way for new people to learn about me. Is if you're like, oh, this guy's my favorite comedian. Here's like a 15-minute best of what this guy does. So if you can share that, that'd be awesome. I put a lot of work into it. I didn't just put my Instagram clips just in a long video. Like I re-edited all of them to make it to the correct aspect ratio, and I recaptioned them and really put in a lot of work to make sure it looks good and sounds good. So if you can share that, that would be really, really great. And I feel like I need to clear my throat again, and I'm not happy about it, okay? If you're annoyed about me clearing my throat, I am doubly annoyed, okay? Because I'm a goddamn professional, and I don't like clearing my throat on the podcast. So I'm actually going on the road tomorrow, and not for my own tour dates. I am opening for my buddy Michael Blaustein, who I've opened for many times. Talked about opening for him many times on this podcast if you've been with me since the beginning. And you may be asking yourself, hey, Will, you're a headliner, and you just came off a 45-city tour where you sold out big venues. Why are you opening? Hey, thank you for the reminder. I appreciate the confidence. But your boy needs money. Now, when the year started, I knew that I wasn't going to have many tour dates. And because that's how I get the majority of my income, fucking the majority. I mean, that's how I get 90% of the money I make is from the road. And so I hit up Blaustein, and I was like, hey, man, can I open for you a few times? And he was like, sure thing. Come on over. So going on the road with him, I don't particularly want to talk about where because I don't really want my fans to come see me there because that's not I need you to not spend your money for him. I need you to come see me. And now that I think about it, I think the shows are all sold out, so it doesn't matter. But that's something strategic, by the way, is if I'm opening for someone, I'm not going to promote their shows because I need you to see me and my shows because I need to sell those tickets, if that makes sense. So either way, I think they're all sold out anyways. But regardless, that's the full scope of why I may not tell you where I'm going to be. Anyways, though, I'm excited to do those shows. It's going to be fun to be an opener for a little while because there's just no pressure. There's no stakes. I can just go and be a comedian, and I can just I stick my hand out, and then other people go, we're going to be here at this time, and here's what we're doing, and here's what we're eating, and then do this. Being an opener is such a cushy job. I talked to a buddy who's opening for like a huge name comedian right now, and we were talking about it, and it's, dude, if you're opening for someone big, you are like, it's such a cushy life. You are staying in 5-star hotels, order whatever you want, just do the show, amazing meals, amazing crowds, theater crowds, and you can just do that. You can sell merch, make your money, and you can just, that can be your life. And dude, that's kind of an amazing life. But it's too good. You can get really comfortable in that life to where you start to be complacent and you're not putting in the work for your own career and you're just living this cushy lifestyle with your hand out following, where do we go now? Oh, I go here? Okay, cool. And then you just do your jokes and then you're done. There's no stress. There's no pressure. It's really nice. I mean, I have to remind myself on these shows that the crowds are not there for me, so my sets aren't going to be as good as they probably would be if it were my fans, but I'm still going to really enjoy it. I'm doing 6 shows in sold out clubs. Like, awesome. And I have no pressure on me to do anything other than be funny and be cool. It's cool, man. He's Blaustein's putting out a special soon, and he actually asked. I'm one of the 2 people he asked to give notes on it. Meaning he needed to cut it was like 20 minutes, and he asked me and another one of his buddies to kind of give him those notes, and it was kind of an honor if you think about it, that he is turning into one of the biggest comedians in the country, and for his first special, I was one of the 2 people that he asked and trusted with giving notes, and it was very special to me, man. I feel like I know his set frontwards and back, and I have such a good image of what he wants and what he likes and what jokes work the best. And it was just really fun to watch a cut of that special and be a part of that. So it's fun watching your friends be successful, man. It really is. And it inspires you to do the same. Because I'm not one of those complacent guys that just wants to open. Clearly. I mean, I went on my whole headlining tour this year, but I have a lot of aspirations. So moving on here, quick movie review for you. I'm still running through the Best Picture nominees, which actually came out today, the day I'm recording this. I'm trying to watch all the Best Picture movies. And I think you guys should do the same because I'm going to keep talking about them. So far, I've talked about, what did I review? I reviewed Maestro. I gave that a 6 out of 10. I reviewed Past Lives. I gave that an 8 out of 10. I reviewed Poor Things. I gave that a 10 out of 10. And I did Anatomy of a Fall, and I gave that 8 out of 10. I finally saw Barbie. Took a long time. Finally saw it. And overall, I really liked it. Didn't love it, but I really liked it. I thought it was such an interesting move to make the first real movie about Barbie and have it be this exploration of gender and feminism and the patriarchy, and it's just not something that needed to happen. And the fact that they did it, I think, is so cool. Like, that could have just been a silly movie about Barbie living her Barbie life, and here's what it is, and Margot Robbie's Barbie, and Ryan Gosling's Ken, and that's just going to make $1 bajillion anyways. But the fact that they made it this, like, this kind of political, gender exploration, I think is awesome, man. And I think it was so well done, and it was really funny. I thought Ryan Gosling was awesome. He was so funny. And I know I'm behind on talking about Barbie, by the way. I'm well aware of that, but whatever. This is my show, okay? Get off my ass. A few parts were a little corny for me, the musical numbers. I was kind of like, okay, yeah, we get it, I could have used a few less of those. Some of the stuff was just a little like, okay, no one really talks like this, like when young people start talking like adults, I'm like, okay, you're 12, you're not that smart. But I don't know, some kids I feel like are smart as shit now, so then maybe they do talk like that. I don't really know. Overall, really enjoyed the movie. Wasn't one of my favorites, but I thought it was great. I would give it a hard 7 out of 10. That's what I would give it. And I never talked about Oppenheimer either, which I think Oppenheimer is a little bit overrated. Hot take. I know. I really liked Oppenheimer, but I liked other movies way more. Watching Oppenheimer it's an amazing achievement of art. Like, what an amazing film that they made it. It's amazing. It's an amazing movie, but goddamn, it was so relentlessly paced, and I couldn't understand what the hell was going on for 70% of the movie. Who's that guy? Who's that guy? What are they talking about? What's that thing? What are they referring to? That was me the whole time. 3 hours of, who's that guy? What's that thing? Visually, it was unbelievable, and the acting was fantastic, but like the whole time I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I don't like that with movies, man. I consider myself average intelligence, maybe a little bit more, cocky. You know what I mean? And I could follow like some of it. And it's like, if you have to make it consumable for the average citizen, And sometimes I don't like when filmmakers are like, ooh, look how smart I am. Yeah, you don't get this? Ooh, guess you're not smart enough. Sorry. Fuck you, bro. Make it simple enough so I can get it. I'm not a dumbass. I'm not the smartest person ever, but I'm decently smart. And that's what that movie felt like to me. Christopher Nolan was a little like, "Ooh, I'm so fucking smart. Oh, you don't get these concepts? Guess you should have studied harder." I'd give Oppenheimer a 7 as well. I mean, it's an amazing movie, no shit. But I think like comparing that movie to like Poor Things, I thought it's like not even close. Damn it, I clear my throat again. Shit. Tried not to. Also, I did what I held myself accountable last episode, talking about seeing friends and being social and living life worth writing about, and I did it. Saw some friends, man. Took Friday off and met up with some life friends from a job that I used to work at when I lived in LA. And dude, we just like hung out as dudes. We walked around bar hopping like guys. Just a pack of dudes walking around, looking like we're up to no good. But we are up to good. We're not doing anything sketchy. 4 guys in happy relationships, walking around only up to good. I didn't even really think about comedy that night. And that was the goal. Was just to be a person, be a human, live life. And I did that, and I'm very grateful. Because I've been in grind mode lately, man. I've been so laser focused on my goals and my aspirations that it's like everything else has gone by the wayside. Like the only thing I do for like my health and well-being is like, I do yoga in the morning, I work out as much as I can, and I take walks. It's like, that's about it. And seeing friends is a huge part of that. So I just need to get out of the grind mode a little bit and live life, which I did. And I'm very happy that I did that. But I was like hungover the next day, dude. Drinking is so stupid. Drinking is just stupid. I'm like, what? I know I've talked about this before, but it's like you wake up the next day and you're like, what? I feel like shit. It's never worth it. Is there a worse feeling than when you lay down at night and you're like, you have the spins? And I didn't drink that much. I had like 3 or 4 drinks or whatever, but I was still hungover the next day because I don't really drink much anymore. But that when you really drink, like back in the like in the college days, like housing drinks and like laying down and getting the spins, is there a worse feeling? Oh my God. Why do we drink still? I think drinking is going to be less and less relevant. I think by the time we are, and by I say we, I'd say people around my age, I feel like by the time we're in like the older generation, I feel like the kids are not going to be really drinking that much. I think mushrooms are going to take over. Hot take. I think people are going to do more mushrooms, microdosing mushrooms, rather than drinking. I'm saying it now. January 23rd, 2024. I'm saying it now. The mushrooms will be more prevalent. Prevalent? It's not a fucking word. Damn it. Maybe I'm not as smart as I think I am. Let's talk comedy a little bit, man. I went to my old stomping grounds this week, just doing local shows, as I've been doing. I went to the Haha Comedy Club, which is the place I kind of started at. And I like haven't really performed there in like a while, but I did 3 shows there this week. I did like a Wednesday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. And I've been really grinding out these new jokes. You know, there's about like a new like 5-6 minutes of stuff that I've been really hitting hard. Forcing myself to do it in every show because that's how it gets better. And I've said that before about how it's the reps, it's finding the rhythm of it and doing it in all sorts of different types of shows, right? Good shows, bad shows, bar shows, amazing shows. And I did a array of that. Like Wednesday and Saturday crowds were phenomenal, and I went up and the set went great. And then on Sunday the crowd was a little tighter and the set didn't go as well. And I'm like, cool, use that information to then adapt and say, okay, I know it works if the crowd's on fire, but it needs to work when the crowd's okay, if that makes sense. And I also am working on this new stuff just because I want to, you know, it's like I have the set that I toured with, right? That 45 to 50 minute set that I've been touring with, and I know it all works. And now I'm in the point of where I want to work on, like if I'm just in town working on those jokes, I'm not creatively fulfilled because I know those jokes work. I've done them all year. So me doing them more, if anything, I'm going to start to like them less because that can happen. You start to get tired of that material. You start to forget why it's funny and just get so used to the laughs that you're like, ugh, I don't even like doing this joke anymore. And every comedian thinks like that. Like you'll do a joke that you know crushes and you do it. And if it crushes, you're like, yeah, it better. But if you do that same joke and it gets like a whatever response, you're like, okay, hey, I'm doing this for you guys. I know this does well. I know this crushes. I'm doing this so you guys trust me, so then I can work on new jokes. So to me, work on the new jokes is such a better use of time because it gets the creative juices flowing. It also is like a thing where if I put out some sort of special, whether it's, you know, I plan on putting out something this year at some point, even if it's just a short set, I want to put something out there. You know, when I put that out there, I don't want to do that in my act anymore. I want to burn that material, which is the old school model of you know, you put out a Netflix special and then that hour's gone. You got to write a whole new hour. So I'm kind of doing that on a small scale where let's say I put out, you know, a 5-6 minute set, you know, as if it were like a late night set, for example. I want to have another 5 to 6 minutes that I can plug right back into the set and it hits just as hard, if not harder. Because I will find times where my new material will do better than my old material, which is a good sign because that means you're getting better. I remember on one of the shows, it was Saturday, the day I went on a Friday and then I had a show Saturday. I had 2 shows Saturday, and that was the day I was a little bit hungover. I don't want to say how I wasn't like that hungover, but I just felt it, you know. I ate like a burger and fries and a Coke, and it was just the best shit ever. When you're hungover, oh my God, you need that greasy, sugary food. Oh, so good. But I remember feeling a little shaky before the set. Like I remember sitting in the back of the room at Haha, being a little like anxious. I do stand up every night, and I was feeling this weird level of nerves where I was like, do I got it? I was watching the guy before me crush, you know? And I was like, am I going to do well? I think I'm gonna, but I can't say for sure. But it's funny, man. It's like right when I got on stage, I immediately was doing well. Like I had the crowd right away and had them the entire time and had a killer set. It's almost like you enter this flow state where it's muscle memory. Even if you're a little nervous before or questioning yourself, it's like you get right on stage and you just enter this rhythm and you're like, oh, right, the thing I do every night. Boom, I'm in, I'm locked in. But I think you need that, I think you need a little bit of fear as a comedian. Like you need that, I think you need that 10% of you that's like, am I going to bomb? I don't know how this is going to go. Because I think if you go up with too much confidence, you won't be like selling your jokes as much. You'll kind of be like leaning back like, I got it. Yeah, I already know this is funny. And I think you do need a little bit of confidence. You can't go up there being like, is this funny, guys? Right? Is this funny? But then you need to find that instead of like, and instead of like, yeah, I got it. You need to be here of like, okay, I need to make sure you guys know this is funny, but I'm confident in my abilities, but I need to almost sell you guys a little bit, especially when you're at my level. Because I'm sure maybe a few people during a show will know who I am or have seen my videos before, but I'm not a household name, so I need to still prove myself. But I think a little bit of fear is really key in proving yourself in those moments. But I'll tell you what, man. Again, apologies for the throat clearing. We could go in and edit all those out, but this is life, man. I tell you what was happening this week is I was finding myself very much in the comparison game regarding social media. I'm getting very caught up in the amount of likes that things are getting. Whether that's stand-up clips, especially podcast clips, because podcast clips are, I haven't been posting a lot of them on my main page because I'm not coming on here like trying to be funny necessarily. I'm more creating the space for myself to deepen the connection with you guys and just have you guys get to know me better. And I don't know. I just don't think a lot of comedians are doing a podcast like this where they're getting on and just being real and vulnerable and authentic. I just think there's such a lack of that in comedy, so I'm trying to create that space. Albeit it's a very small space right now, but I'm getting good at it now, so when more eyeballs are on it, it'll be a better product. So it's like sometimes when I put podcast clips out, I'm like, it feels very vulnerable because I'm not being like silly or funny most of the time, right? So I haven't put a lot of podcast clips on my main page, and I want to challenge myself to put more of them out there because I want people to watch the podcast, and I'm very proud of what I do on here. So, but there's just such a level of vulnerability where I'm not, I'm posting so many stand-up clips of me being funny, laugh, when this is just kind of a different medium. And, I'll post funny sections of the podcast, but it still is just a level of uncertainty and like, oh, are people going to like this? Are people going to unfollow me? Like, and, what's happening is I'm very much putting myself, I'm putting my content up against other people's content that's getting a similar amount of traction and just comparing myself. And it's gross. It's that, comparison is the thief of joy. It's like, that's so real, man. And, it sometimes makes me question myself and get insecure. I'm very confident in my abilities, but dude, social media can legit make you insecure about yourself. No shit, by the way. That's not a hot take. That's for anyone, regardless of if you're a comedian or in real estate or a makeup artist. It's like or fuck it, if you're just a person who's just comparing themselves physically to somebody else on social media, it's just such a gross dynamic. But it's like that's the world we live in, so you have to come to terms with it. So I'm very much posting a clip and let's say, this person gets this many more likes, and they have the same amount of followers as me. How do they get so many more likes than me? What am I doing wrong, right? instead of focusing on my own world. I'm like, how are they doing better than me? And I've always, another term that's very poignant is, you detach from the results and then you get the results you want. But it's so hard in this business to do that because your worth in the entertainment industry is based on a number. Not the entertainment industry. In stand-up, it's based on a number. It's how many followers you have and how many tickets you can sell. And it's not even about how many followers you have. It's how many of those followers will equate to ticket sales. And not just will they, how many ticket sales. 50? 1,000? Those numbers are everything. And so we are directly attached to numbers. So I said a second ago, I'm worried about, will these people unfollow me? Some of you are like, who cares? Let them. And you're right. If someone's going to unfollow me because of a podcast clip, let them. They weren't going to come to your show in the first place. But the number of followers I have is incredibly meaningful to my success. Optically, it matters. The way to do it, honestly, is and I know this, is to post a piece of content and then just throw your phone away, right? Delete the app. Put it up, delete the app, or do whatever. But it's so hard because you kind of need to look at some point to see what content is gravitating towards people so you know how to continue your output. So you got to look. But it's how much you look. That's the key. And that's what I'm bad at. I'm not bad. I'm okay at it. I think people will post something and they'll check every 5 minutes how it's doing. I'll check maybe every 30 minutes, if I'm being realistic and real with you guys. And that's too much. And look, it's like when you look, it's like when you open an app like Instagram, you inherently will see other people's content. And you're going to look at what they're doing because it's impossible not to. Even if you're avoiding it, you'll still kind of see. But, of course, if the algorithm is in your favor, you could care less. If your shit's cooking, who cares what other people are doing, man? My shit's going. It's only when the powers that be are pushing your content out to the masses is when you don't really question yourself. Social media has given me everything, but also takes so much from me. That's why I'm so thankful that Kaylee's in my life. And if you're new here, she's my girlfriend of damn near 3.5 years. And tell you what, man, falling in love with a girl who's a therapist is a great life hack. And I would be just as in love with her if she was like a librarian or something, which sounds hot. So I'm not with her because she's a therapist. I'm with her because I love who she is as a person. But it is so nice being with a therapist because it's like she inherently gives me kind of mini therapy sessions just as my partner. But she knows the right questions to ask. She knows the human experience in a different way than someone in a different occupation. So she's able to, ask me difficult questions, put things into perspective that I've never thought about, and really just like be there for me, because I was talking to her about all the comparison stuff I'm going through with social media, and she just asked me a lot of really interesting, good questions and put things into perspective and definitely made me feel better. She has me journal with her. Yesterday she was like, I need a journal for 10 minutes before we go out and run errands. And I was kind of like, I was like, I don't really want a journal. And she's like, you should. I was like, all right. And she gave me prompts to journal about, and I did. And guess what? I felt better. How great is that? I'm so thankful for that. I tell you what, though, I'm really glad that she's my girlfriend and not my therapist, because I'm way too attracted to her. I wouldn't get anything done. Every session, I would just be trying to impress her. Like, what brings you in today? Yeah, pretty stressed. Yeah, just dealing with a lot right now. just like between tutoring kids and feeding the homeless, I'm stressed. It's like I'm too giving. Like, ugh. Okay, well, why don't you have a seat? I can't. Leg day. That's how it would go. Shout out to Love, man. What a nice way to end this. Cool episode, man, I think. This was fun. And I hope you guys had fun too. Please subscribe. Rate, review. You know the deal. Again, that Netflix show. It goes on sale Friday, May 3rd. It's going to be easy to find tickets, man. All in the description of my bio. It's all that, dude. Come on, man. If you can't figure out how to get tickets, that's on you. May 3rd. Really excited about it. Would love to see you guys there. Again, it'll sell out quickly, I assume. And I'll see you guys there. I'll see you guys next week. I'll talk about that showcase thing I'll be doing. So that's going to be interesting, as well as the shows when I'm opening this weekend. And look, man, just appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you going on this ride with me. And have a great rest of the week. And I will see you next week.